Welcome back, guys. Another XSR700 mod today. Today we are going to be putting some bike protection on. So picked up a set of these R&G racing frame sliders. These things will save your freaking engine if you ever lay your bike down. So I definitely want to protect my investment. So I got a set of these. I also got a set of the front axle and rear axle sliders as well. And they're really easy to put on. I mean, it's literally just like feeding them through. And I didn't bother doing a video for those because the installation is just so easy. But as you can see, they look pretty cool. The cool thing about the rear one is that, you know, it's set up to take a rear wheel lift stand, and that's really convenient for working on the bike. You don't have to work on the bike leaning at an angle, and I don't have to invest in one of those big freaking massive bike jacks because I've got enough shit in my garage as it is with dirt bikes and quads and the Harley and everything else. There's just not enough room for it. But anyway, enough of my yapping. Let's go ahead and put these R&G frame sliders on. Okay, so let's talk about the tools you're going to need. You're going to need a socket wrench with a 18 millimeter deep socket, because these guys basically go, they bolt into the engine mounts on the left and the right side, the upper ones. So you're going to need to use these bolts. You're going to not reuse your stock engine bolt mounts, but you're going to use this to essentially break, or you can use a breaker bar, but you want to break the engine mount bolt, and then you're going to want that to basically get it in and snug it up. But then you're going to also want a torque wrench because you're going to have to torque these bolts down to somewhere between 38 and 40 Newton meters of torque on each bolt. So all right, let's get to it. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to break the torque on this bolt. I'm starting on the left side of the bike, but it didn't really say that you have to start on one or the other. And yeah, there is a lot of torque on these. So anyway, we're gonna go ahead and loosen this mount up. And it's really important, do not do both, take both bolts out and then do it. You have to do one side at a time, because what would end up happening if you took both out, so your engine might shift, and then you're gonna have a hell of a time trying to get these bolts to line up. So cool, we've got that, and now we move on to these guys. There is a spacer, so what we're going to want to do is insert our spacer into there, and then this just goes through like that into your spacer and into your engine mount. And you can use, oh, wouldn't you know it, their bolt's bigger. So you're gonna thread their longer bolt back in. And I don't think I have it quite lined up. Let's see here. Wait until this catches. You might have, ah, there we go. Remember, you just want to be easy with it. Wiggle it just to get it into seat. The one thing you do not want to do is strip the threads on your engine. You're going to be in a world of hurt if you do. So just go nice and slow until you know that it's good and threaded. And I'll usually go through this with any bolt that goes into an engine. I've done this with cars when I've swapped engines out as well. When you're putting the mounts in, you know, you just want to, as much as you can, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle until you feel that it's seated pretty well. And I think this is, we give it a little bit of a turn just to snug it up, but not much, because remember, we're going to torque this down now. Check the alignment of that. All right, now we're going to torque this baby down. I've already set the torque wrench to 39 Newton meters. You don't want to go higher than 40 according to the instructions. So don't do that. Oop, Looks like we got a little movement here. All right, so it looks like you are gonna actually have to hold the slider, at least until it gets torqued down a little bit. All right, there it goes. One more, and there it is. 40 Newton meters. Now, the next thing, and this is purely decorative, but definitely makes it look better, is you want to put your little caps in. These will hide the bolt, make it look a little nicer, and then we can, you know, might want to adjust this a little bit more, but anyway, you get the idea. So let's go over to the other side. That was it. Not too bad at all. We pretty much got these things put in. I would say the total work time is maybe like 10 minutes at best. But yeah, I think they look really sharp. And as we talked about earlier, we've got the sliders on the front, and then we put the sliders on the back. And you know what? They have a little cutout for the rear wheel stand. I think it looks great. Makes it a hell of a lot easier to work on the bike too. So yeah, kind of digging it. So that's about it for today, guys. R&G sliders, get some. They're great. They'll save your bike. They have a lot. R&G has a lot of other like bike I won't call them safety, but bike protection products that you can look at. Anyway, I'll put a link down to all three of the sliders where I got them in the description, but definitely check them out. That's it for today. I will catch you guys next time. Ride safe. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.